the Nepalese pilot in the Masbate crash.
When the accident happened, maluwag sa kalooban kong tanggapin. Ngayon yung nakatakda para sa kanya.
The wife of the late Interior Secretary Jesse Robredo accepts her husband's fate. And bishops scold 192 pro-RH teachers from Catholic school Ateneo for going against official teaching. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. The body of the 21-year-old Nepalese pilot of the plane carrying Interior Secretary Jesse Robredo has been found. Ayi Makaraig reports.
Tek Bahadur Chand's long wait is finally over. For more than 3 days, he has been waiting in Masbate for news about his 21-year-old son, Kshitiz Chand. His son was studying aviation in Cebu, but last Saturday, Kshitiz flew his last flight with Interior and Local Government Secretary Jesse Robredo and Captain Jesup Bahinting of Cebu. Their plane crashed. When Robredo's body was found Tuesday, the father of Kshitiz knew what was coming. A day later, another body is retrieved. Chand's father, uncle, classmate, and friend and the Bahinting family head to the funeral parlor to identify the body. It is not Tek's son.
Matapos mag-identify ni Sarah at na-confirm nga na father niya yon, so we have decided na at least makita ng father, especially na ma-identify din, na masatisfy din siya na at least they were given the chance na makita yung yung body niya.
Anong reaction niya?
Medyo malungkot. Tapos niya na hindi talaga yung anak niya.
But at about 7 a.m. of Thursday, another body is seen floating at sea. Tek's wait pays off, and he is finally reunited with his son. With Kshitiz, Captain Bahinting, and Robredo found, the task force concludes its operations. But the government's work is not yet over. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines takes custody of the plane wreckage to answer the question lingering in the minds of Tek and the other families. What exactly led to their loved one's sudden death? Ayi Makaraig, Rappler.
The wife of the late Interior Secretary Jesse Robredo faces the media Thursday. Exuding calm, grace, and acceptance, Leni Robredo says she and her 3 daughters are trying hard to be strong for him. Natasha Gutierrez reports.
The widow of beloved Naga Mayor Jesse Robredo shied away from the media until Thursday. Graceful and dignified, Robredo's wife Leni accepts the fate of her husband who died in a plane crash Saturday, August 18. She says it is the will of God. A devout Catholic like him, she thinks her husband was ready and that he had fulfilled all his dreams.
When the accident happened, maluwag sa kalooban kong tanggapin. Ngayon yung nakatakda para sa kanya. Kaya palagay ko yung pinakamaitutulong na lang namin sa katahimikan niya, na ipakita sa kanya na matatag kami at kaya namin.
Leni narrates her last conversation with her husband, who wanted to surprise the family by coming to Naga earlier than planned. He never told her his plane was experiencing engine trouble.
I was finally able to contact him sa smart number niya. He answered. Pero sabi niya sa akin, "Ma, sandali lang, may inaasikaso ako, tawagan na lang kita." In a very calm voice. It was as if I was calling him while he was in the middle of a meeting.
She finishes the press conference without crying. At the wake, she comforts loved ones, a pillar of strength. Her daughters manage to smile too, but shed tears. Residents of Naga say Leni's faith is admirable, but their pain still lingers.
Siyempre, kami ganun din, tinatanggap na rin namin, pero kahit papaano yung sama ng loob namin, yung sakit, nandoon kasi naging mabuti siya sa amin.
Government officials, friends, and locals continue to visit his remains in Archbishop's Palace to say goodbye before he is flown to Manila. they are likely to cremate Robredo. Lenny says that is what he told her when he was still alive. He also wanted his burial spot accessible to the people of Naga, in the heart of the city he loved, which loved him in return. Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Naga City.
Robredo's body will be brought to Malacanang Friday, August 24th. His burial is set for Tuesday, August 28 in Naga City. His wife Lenny declines offers for her late husband to be buried at the Libingan ng Mga Bayani, saying his final resting place will be his hometown. Mrs. Robredo says the family feels honored by the offer.
We feel very honored na in-offer yung Libingan ng Mga Bayani, but we are very sure that Jess would prefer to be buried here. Naga has always been his home. He always tells me this is his happy place. Kaya palagay ko, we will be doing him a great disservice pag hindi siya dito nilibing.
The late Interior Secretary Jesse Robredo was a reform-minded official who often confided his thoughts to his wife. Lenny Robredo says her husband, quote, had a lot of frustrations.
Pag umuwi siya, minsan sinasabi niya, may patutunguhan kaya yung ginagawa ko. Parang nag-wonder siya if na-appreciate yung efforts niya. Kasi iba yung national sa local. Yung local parang instant yung results. Hindi yata siya nun nasanay. Parang naiinip siya sa national level na hindi instant yung results. Kaya parati niya tinatanong kung na-appreciate kaya yung ginagawa ko.
Earlier, she asked the government to make sure sensitive documents in their Manila condominium unit are secure. The Inquirer reports Robredo was involved in the fight against the illegal numbers game Weteng before his death. Acting Chief Justice Antonio Carpio says he is, quote, looking forward to a possible interview with President Benigno Aquino III, but he has yet to hear from the palace. Carpio says Malacanang has not contacted him about an interview schedule with Aquino. Palace insiders tell Rappler Carpio may not be the president's pick. Vice President Jejomar Binay is reportedly wary of Carpio because of his connection with the firm or the CDC law office, which he co-founded. The firm's lawyers were the election lawyers of Transportation Secretary Mar Rojas when he ran against Binay for the vice presidential post. Carpio is one of the 8 nominees shortlisted by the Judicial and Bar Council for the post of Chief Justice. Sources say the palace already contacted Supreme Court Justice Arturo Brion for an interview with the president. Aquino has until August 27th to choose a new Chief Justice. The president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines reacts to a statement by Ateneo professors backing the reproductive health bill. CBCP President Cebu Archbishop Jose Palma says Catholic schools should not teach anything against official church teachings. The late John Paul II says Catholic school teachers should, quote, respect Catholic doctrine and morals in their research and training. The 192 Ateneo professors say poor women will benefit from the passage of the bill. They also invoke academic freedom and say their stand does not represent Ateneo nor the Society of Jesus. The professors say the key principles of the RH bill are compatible with core principles of Catholic social teaching. Ateneo President Father Jose Ramon Villarin backs the CBCP in opposing the RH bill, but respects the teacher's position. In a statement, he says, though the university must differ from their position, I urge them to continue in their discernment of the common good. Multi-awarded film director Brillante Mendoza tackles kidnapping and terrorism in the Philippines in his latest film, Captive. The movie is inspired by the book of American Gracia Burnham, a survivor of the Dos Palmas kidnapping. It took a year of research. French actress Isabelle Huppert plays the fictitious lead character. Mendoza says it's his social responsibility as a filmmaker to tackle these issues, adding dimensions to entertainment.
I think as a filmmaker, it's my social responsibility to tackle on issues like this. So I did interview a lot of a lot of Abu Sayyaf members, well, their families and their relatives. So I found out about their human side, which
Yes.
Normally we don't care.
You have a foreign actress.
Her participation in this film is fictional. So I think it's something different for the audience, for most of the audience, when you see a fiction in a narrative but presented in a documentary way. Then it becomes more truthful, it becomes more honest, it becomes more real, and so people can associate with it better.
Well, let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 4, British Prime Minister David Cameron and U.S. President Barack Obama warn they would consider a new course of action if Syria threatens to use chemical weapons against rebel fighters. The two leaders agreed during a telephone call, details of which were later released by Cameron's Downing Street office. Syrian forces launched a deadly assault on parts of Damascus on August 22 as the regime battles to stamp out rebel resistance in the capital. At number 5, Republicans find themselves in a political quagmire with President Barack Obama's allies casting them as out of step on women's rights over Congressman Todd Akin's comments about, quote, legitimate rape. Women make up more than half of the U.S. electorate, and 56% of them voted for Obama in 2008. Well, that doesn't sit well with Mitt Romney, the Republican challenger who needs the women's votes. He'd rather focus this year's presidential race on Obama's poor economic record. At number 7, social networking sites face a crackdown in India over false online messages that threatened migrant workers there. The BBC reports the Indian government orders a clampdown on these sites after the false anti-migrant messages went viral, prompting migrants to leave the cities of Bangalore and Pune in recent days. Faced with threats of legal action, Facebook and Google removed some material, but the Indian government reports it's encountering difficulty dealing with Twitter. At number 8, German Chancellor Angela Merkel and U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton are the world's most powerful women, according to Forbes magazine's annual survey. Brazil's President Dilma Rousseff came in third. The women come from a total of 28 countries with an average age of 55. Pop singer Lady Gaga makes it to number 14 and is the youngest at 26 years. The oldest, Britain's Queen Elizabeth II, who is 86, ranks number 26. And at number 10, the British royal family warns the country's newspapers not to publish nude photographs of Prince Harry partying with friends in Las Vegas. The photographs, published in the United States by celebrity news website TMZ.com, showed the third in line to the throne naked in a hotel suite. A royal spokesman later confirms the family requested that British newspapers not print the images, arguing it would be a breach of privacy. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter with 8 emotions on it. Click the mood that you feel and your vote will come to Rappler's Mood Navigator, which is on the middle of the front page. The Mood Navigator chooses the top 10 stories that have gotten the most clicks, puts them on the front page, and it crowdsources the emotion of the day based on the most number of votes. If you take a look at what's happened, what we've seen since Saturday is a wave of sadness that really rolls over the Philippines. And today, starting yesterday, we started to see that sadness turn to inspiration, focusing on the legacy left behind by Jesse Robredo. If you take a look, the 3 stories today that have gotten clicks, the most votes, from Robredo's wife, this was our story today, Jessie was ready, 76% inspired, 7% sad, 17% happy. Most likely because of the way she conducted herself during her press conference. Next to that, Aika Robredo's source of inspiration, this is something his daughter wrote herself. 81% inspired, 1% sad. And the story that has gotten the most number of votes, the mayor of Naga. These are Jesse Robredo's own words. The mayor of Naga, 83% inspired, 11% sad. Filipinos are now focusing on the legacy he leaves behind, leaving most people inspired. Well, that's Rappler's Newscast for today, Thursday, August 23, 2012. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.